Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a first impression demo and like all day first impression. I have no idea what I'm going to call this thing, but it is all about the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. Here it is, right here. So I feel like recently everyone is raving about this foundation. So I purchased one during the Sephora VIB sale so I could see what all the hype was about. It is a $27 foundation, which is why I wanted to buy it during the VIB sale, because of course that is a little bit more expensive than the typical drugstore foundations that I use. But I wanted to give it a try and see what I think. I'm going to be applying it to my face. I'm going to be doing different check-ins throughout the day and letting you guys know how it's holding up, and then at the end letting you know how the entire day went, if I think I would recommend it, who I would recommend it for. Let's hang out together today and see how the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation and Concealer. So I will be doing a first impression and I'll be doing like check-ins throughout the day, letting you know how I think the foundation is holding up, letting you guys see how it's holding up, all that good stuff. It's the first video that I'm doing like this, so I'm a little like, what am I doing? But hey, we'll try it out. So obviously the foundation we're using is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation plus the concealer. This is what the packaging looks like, and this is the second one that I've had to get, so this video is coming a little bit later. I ordered one during the Sephora VIB sale, but it was like 6 shades too light for me. And I'm not even kidding. I don't know if I just didn't pay attention to the shades. Like, I was just so excited about the VIB sale that I just like put something in my cart and then checked out and didn't even bother to look at the shades. I have no idea, because literally the shade that I got was in 1 linen, and then my correct shade when I went to Sephora the other day, this is in 6.5 buttermilk. Like, I was way off. But when you open it up, this is what it looks like. It's a really nice glass bottle. Might not be the best for traveling because glass is kind of scary, but it does look really nice. It feels heavy, and when you open it up, it has a little bit of a different applicator. So this is what the applicator looks like. From what I have seen, I've watched maybe 2 review videos of this, and people are saying a little bit goes a long way, so I will keep that in mind when applying. I have only applied this to my face once, and I did like a Instagram demo of if you buy a too light of foundation, how you can darken it up. That's the only time that I've used it, and I only left it on my face for maybe a couple hours before I washed it off, so I don't feel like I've actually been able to like see what's going on with this, but that's what we're gonna do today. So from the box, let me see, it says it's allergy tested, 100% fragrance free. It says moderate to full coverage and natural matte finish. It says this is a foundation and concealer in one for a natural, beyond perfected look that lasts all day. Lightweight, moisturizing makeup, covers thoroughly without clogging pores. Color stays true even through sweat and humidity. For complete coverage, dot all over the face and blend. Use the unique applicator to spot conceal, and it's oil free. Okay, so right now it is 9:55. You can see that on my phone. So 9:55, about 10 o'clock, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. I think I'm gonna do one side of my face with a brush and then one side of the face with a beauty blender and see what I think. It's dotted on, so I don't know. Do a little bit of this action. This feels kind of strange, but we'll go ahead and do this. I feel like that's a lot. I don't know. We'll see. And then I'm going to use the beauty blender for this side. I have primed my face. I, of course, forgot to let you guys know that, but I primed my face with the Tarte Clean Smoothing Primer. Hold on, it's right here. With the Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer. I just mentioned this in my favorites video. So that is the primer that I'm using. Okay, so far I'm seeing this is a much better color match than 1 linen. That didn't do anything. I'm also using my new Nude beauty blender that I picked up during the sale as well. I think it's super cute. This is my first beauty blender. I have the Real Techniques sponge, but I've never owned a beauty blender, and I just thought the Nude one was so cute. So actually, like, I don't feel like that was too much. It blends out super easily. To me, it's a little bit sheer. I would say it's more of a lighter coverage, but that very well could be because using a damp beauty blender. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side and then buff that in with a foundation brush and see what I think. Okay, so I'm just gonna do, maybe I'll do something different on this side. I'm gonna use swipes because that's actually how I've seen people do it, is kind of doing more in the swiping motion like this. I have no idea if this will make any sort of difference, but that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna use the Morphe M439. This is one of my favorite foundation brushes. I'm gonna use that to buff in the foundation. Okay, so I can already like tell a huge difference from the beauty blender to a brush. The brush, you're definitely getting a lot more full coverage. I have hair like flying everywhere. You're definitely getting more of a full coverage. When I used the beauty blender, it was much more on the lighter scale. It even just like looks darker on that side of my face. So I think that will be something good because there's days where I want a more full coverage foundation. You know, there's just like, there's days that that's what you prefer. And there's days where I want a little bit of a sheerer foundation. And you can go both ways with this depending on what you want to use to apply it. So today, for what like I'm thinking for what I want to do, I would rather have fuller coverage. So I'm going to put just a little bit more foundation on the side of my face that I used the beauty blender. Just like a little bit of swipes here. And I'm going to blend that in with the brush and also see how buildable it is. It seemed to build up just fine. Didn't turn chunky or cakey or anything like that when I put another layer on that side of my face, so that's good. I think it does look really nice on the skin. It covers everything pretty well. So far, if you guys can tell, like it covered everything pretty well. It looks good on the skin. It doesn't look cakey or anything like that. It's definitely more of a matte finish. There's not any like much luminosity to it. If you do like more luminous foundations, you can always use like a luminous primer underneath. I didn't use one, I just used more of a regular one, but there's not really any luminosity to the skin. It's definitely more on the matte finish side, but it's not like matte finish, you know, because I don't like that kind of look. I'm going to set the foundation as well, and I thought about like, I was like, should I do this or should I not set the foundation? But I set the foundation no matter what, so I don't feel like I would properly be able to review it on myself or compare it to my other foundations, because when I use other foundations I'm always setting it. So gonna set the foundation. I'm gonna use the Maybelline Master Fix by Face Studio. It's their setting and perfecting loose powder. It's freaking bomb. And I'm gonna use the Morphe E3. I just mentioned this in my favorites video, I believe it was. So I'm just gonna use this loose powder and set that all over my face. I do like the color matching, and I would say when I went into Sephora to exchange it and I was looking through the colors, I'm not a very tan person, but I'm not super duper pale either. But I would say like their shades were pretty light. A lot of them were on the more of the pinkish side, which actually I use more pink toned concealers versus yellow concealer, so that actually worked out for me. But I would say like maybe go a shade darker. Like pick out what you think your shade is and then maybe go a shade darker, because I feel like that's what I kind of had to do and that worked out well for me. So that would be my suggestion on the color matching. Okay, so that is done. Foundation in place. It is now 10:08 and I will check in a couple hours. Back. So this is my first check-in. It is now 1:27. So I've had it on for what? three and a half hours. So Let me get a mirror. I don't even know what I look like. I have not managed to put on any other makeup in that 3.5 hour time span, but I feel like this is holding up pretty well. Can you guys hear that noise? What is this? What is this vehicle? I have no idea what is going on outside my window. Some huge truck is going by. Okay, so I do feel like it is holding up extremely well. I don't see any cakiness. I do have a little bit of redness like right around my nose, and I think it's from I was being outside and I was kind of like itching at my nose a little bit, so I might touch up a little bit there. But other than that, I don't really see any issues. I don't have oily skin. I have pretty normal skin, so I don't feel like I need to blot or put powder anywhere. I don't see any real dry patches, so I'm just gonna put a little bit more around my nose. That red spot kind of popped up back through that's underneath my eye, so I might put a little bit there to spot conceal that redness. But so far, after 3.5 hours, we are looking pretty good. So it is now 3:41, so it's been what, like 2 hours since my last check-in. Yes, I know I only have one eye done. I'm actually in the process of filming this glitter look, but I thought before I like jumped fully into the tutorial, I would just pop on here, but also because I just took my dog for a walk and it's pretty sunny out, and I mean, I won't say that like I was like full on sweating, but it was warm out. So I wanted to do a check-in and see how everything looks. I also did apply some bronzer and some blush. Obviously I have one eye done. I think my nose is still looking good. I did a little touch-ups around my nose. That's looking good. This little red guy is still, I don't know what that is or where it came from, but that poked back out. I do have a like slight breakout right here, and I have glitter in my hair, don't mind me, and that's kind of peeking through too. But other than that, again, like no cakiness, no dry spots. Like I mentioned, I'm not an oily person. Nothing looks oily on me. Nothing looks too dry or like gunked up. The coverage is still there for the most part, besides those two little areas. So yeah, I think we're still looking good. Okay, so far, what are we in totally? It's been like 5.5 hours since I applied it, and I think it's still looking good. I've gone about my day. I've taken my dog for a walk. So yeah, I'm gonna finish doing this tutorial, and then I will try to check back in the latest that I can tonight before I absolutely lose every single bit of lighting that I can. So I try to give it like a full day. But yeah, I will check back in. Welcome back. Okay, so it is now 6:48 in the PM. I've tried to wait as long as I could to do my final check-in, but I'm going to work out, so I need to wash my makeup off. We've almost lost all the sun as well, so I only have natural lighting to film, so I couldn't wait until like 11 o'clock to do a final check-in. But okay, final check-in. So I'm looking pretty crazy. I had liquid lipstick on for several hours after I did a makeup tutorial, and then I ate a sandwich. I ripped my lashes off because I did not like my lashes today, but I have like full makeup on. My eyes are done. I have highlight on. My highlight still looks really good. Hello. Anastasia Beverly Hills, dripping in gold. Okay. But foundation wise, it's still looking really good, like around my mouth. Like sometimes around my mouth, it can kind of settle into fine lines or kind of cake up. And I seriously don't see any of that. Around my nose looks fine. I did touch up, I think it was in the first check-in, I touched up a little bit of redness around my nose. Haven't touched up since then. That still looks fine. My second check-in, I touched up this breakout up here. That actually still looks pretty camouflaged. This little red mark is still kind of there, but it's kind of like blending into my blush and highlight, so not a big deal. So even though I do have makeup on, like I think my chin is just getting a little bit shiny, which I don't really struggle with oily skin like I've kept saying, but every once in a while I can notice like just my chin, and I think it's because I rest my fingers there so much, which I know I shouldn't do. It's bad for you. You shouldn't touch your face. So I would say, if anything, like if I was gonna keep going, like gonna go out tonight or something, I would touch up just a little bit on my chin and put some powder on there as well. But other than that, everything else looks really good on my face. I am very impressed with this foundation. I'm very happy I got it. I think this is actually my first like higher end foundation that I have. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so kind of my final thoughts on the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation Plus Concealer. Was very impressed with it. If you remember from when I put it on, I used a beauty blender on one side, a foundation brush on the other. If you want to make this a more sheer coverage, I would suggest using a damp beauty blender. If you want more of a fuller coverage, use your foundation brush. Again, my shade is in 6.5 Buttermilk, if you guys want a little bit of a reference. What I noticed in stores is that their light shades are light. That they tended to range more into the like pink undertones versus the yellow undertones, which like I mentioned, it's good for me because I pull cooler than I do warmer. So I actually didn't mind that. Again, it is $27. I got mine on the Sephora website. I'm super impressed with the foundation. It stayed on all day. A few minor touch-ups here and there, but overall stayed well on my face. I really like the coverage that it gets. It's not a luminous coverage, definitely is more of a matte coverage, so if that is what you like, I would suggest this. Again, I think it would be fine for people with oily skin. It does say that it's oil-free, and I didn't notice any like big problems with oiliness at all, even though I'm not oily. I'm more of a combo skin, so again, I didn't notice anything either. Like, there was no dry patches. There's a few foundations that can kind of like cling to dry spots, and I didn't see that happening with this one. It didn't settle into fine lines, which really impressed me because that can happen too, and that sucks because that looks weird. So I don't know, first impressions, and for leaving it on all day, I am super impressed with it. I would definitely say that I would recommend it. I'm very happy with my purchase. I'm glad that I finally got the right shade. I would suggest, if you don't know your shades very well, like me, maybe go into Sephora, test a few on your hand, maybe put some on your face, see if you can figure out your shade before you buy it, or else you'll have to go back and return it, like I did. Yeah, so that is going to be everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this first impression, kind of all day check-in for the Clinique foundation. Like I mentioned, this is like the first time I'm doing a video like this, so I'm sorry if I seemed like a little hesitant or unsure, but never done anything like this. First timer videos are always kind of like a little weird for me because I'm kind of like trying to find my footing. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If there are any other products out there that are newer that you would like to see first impressions of, see how they last all day, anything like that, please do leave those in the comments below and I will be sure to notice them. If you guys did enjoy this video, I hope you will give it a thumbs up because that really does help me out. I also hope that you will subscribe before you go, because that is fantastic. But I can just imagine like how crazy I'm looking right now with like makeup half off. I got my sweatshirt on already. Okay, I need to sign off now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you real soon in my next video. Bye.